It's 10 o'clock at night. Do you know where your kids are? That used to be a slogan to a commercial. I forgot what commercial it was. It was a whole campaign in the 80s, and only Gen Xers experienced it, and maybe early millennials. I don't remember well, I do remember hearing the slogan, but I don't remember the commercial to that slogan. Um, but since we over here talking about insurances, honey, I want to talk a little bit about these fires that I got my account flagged for. I guess they're not really happening. So y'all know I have a bunch of stuff dealing with these fires, right? Um, so just in case you guys have been living under a rock, there has been fires going on in LA that is destroying up to $50 billion of property. Um, it first started in Palisade, okay? So it first started in Palisade and then it just kept spreading and it's spreading and it's spreading and spreading and spreading and and now there's tornado fires, okay? I want to first say I'm looking at these comment section and y'all sound so heartless. And then when karma bites you in the ass, because karma beat people's ass quick lately. Okay, we in the age of Aquarius, so people catching hell for being heartless ass people. I'm just sick and tired and sick and tired. Now I ain't gonna lie, I did say that it had nothing to do with the normal everyday people who actually worked hard to get what they got in California. I feel bad for them. But there's some people who are Nepo babies, some people who always had money and have always looked down at people who did not have. And now they don't have what they have. And I'm like, okay, how can I feel sorry for you when let's go back 20 years ago to Hurricane Katrina and the awful things you said about those people in Katrina. Y'all gave nobody in Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans any sympathy. None. So my question is, let the spirit guides, God, whoever you believe with, do your work. My sympathy goes out for those who have worked their asses off to get everything they got and to lose it all in one sitting because allegedly someone set those fires. This was not caused by climate change, by the way, which I find it to be funny that Donald Trump came out and said it was caused by climate change. It has something to do with the allocation of water. And I'm hearing a lot of people claiming that this is true, that it has to do with they did something to water and something to whatever they did with water had to do with the fact that they canceled insurance. And I'm about to show you later because this is Hollywood Unlocked. I'm gonna show it again on Hollywood Unlocked where Monique Slaughter, she also says they canceled not only her fire insurance but her earthquake insurance. Why would you cancel earthquake insurance? You know, earthquake is very common and wildfires are very common in the LA area. So this is strange, okay? And another thing is people are asking, why is there a wildfire in the winter? So it's very strange. So I want you guys, this is the first report. This is 4 days ago of the first report of the Palisade wildfires.
Side of LA, and several homes are now destroyed. Just moments ago, Governor Gavin Newsom declared a state of emergency because of that fire. 26,000 people have been forced to evacuate. High winds are driving the flames not far from Santa Monica.
10,000 homes are now threatened. The city of Los Angeles declaring a state of emergency through this wind event. Officials say there's no way to get a handle on the fire under current conditions, and the worst of the windstorm is still to come.
Feel very blessed at this point that there's no injuries that are reported. We do have reports of multiple structures that are damaged. Since the beginning of this fire,
People trying to escape the fire abandoned their vehicles on the roads. Firefighters were forced to use bulldozers to push those cars out of the way so they can battle the flames. You can see ongoing Palisades fire coverage on the free ABC 10 Plus streaming TV app.
It started this morning in the hillsides of LA, and several homes are now destroyed. Just moments.
So the most disturbing part about it is the fact that they had to tell the people to evacuate so fast to where they told them they had to get out their car and run away. They could not drive out the area because it was too congested. And they said, you know what, just leave your cars and go. That's scary. That's scary as hell. To like a fire gets so out of control to where you driving away don't work anymore. You have to run away. That's scary. Some of those people cars are still running. Some of their cars are still running. That's like crazy. Like, oh, there's people cars still running on the road because they had to leave that fast because of the fire spreading that fast. Like, I can't imagine. Like, that's crazy. See, these are people, like, people got cars and they had to tell them to get out their cars and leave their cars. It's just, I mean, to me, the only thing to me, what it looks like to me, have y'all seen the movie Volcano with Tommy Lee and Anne Heche? That's what it looks like. Here's some more footage. And keep in mind, this is Palisade. So this is the first area the fire spread to.
Hear the pops of another structure catching on fire. Looks like another one over here. Shadow Mountain Drive. Flames pushing this direction right now.
Start tonight with breaking news and a growing fire in Southern California. I want to show you a live look at the fast-moving Palisades fire tonight. You see all the first responders there on scene, the lights off in the distance. It started this morning in the hillsides of LA, and several homes are now destroyed. Just moments ago, Governor Gavin Newsom declared a state of emergency because of that fire. 26,000 people have been forced to evacuate. High winds are driving the flames not far from Santa Monica.
10,000 homes are now threatened. The city of Los Angeles declaring a state of emergency through this wind event. Officials say there's no way to get a handle on the fire under current conditions, and the worst of the windstorm is still to come.
feel very blessed at this point that there's no injuries that are reported. We do have reports of.
Now, keep in mind, this was like 4 days ago, and this is before the fire spread. Since then, there has been reports of 16 people have passed away.
Multiple structures that are damaged. Since the beginning of this fire,
people trying to escape the fire abandoned their vehicles on the roads. Firefighters were forced to use bulldozers to
until tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. We've seen peak wind gusts at about 30 to 35 miles per hour down low, closer to about 40 to 50 miles per hour through the upper foothills and lower Sierra. Still have those offshore winds. They're very dry as they head throughout the Sierra. And
so let's explain to everybody, us East Coasters, people who have a forest, savanna type climate, tropical climate. Basically, our climate's kind of wet. Let me explain to you why wind would make the fire worse. That California is dry as hell. Okay. Even I think, was it a water advisory with California? It's dry. The air in California is dry. It's dry. So you would think that wind would make it better. No. The wind is dry wind, not wind with precipitation in it. It's dry air blowing dry air. So the reason it's making it worse is because it's like fighting fire with fire. Okay? That's why. Okay? And it's crazy because
it started this
the breaking news happened. I was so happy to watch the I was watching President Carter's Washington D.C. memorial with Vice President Harris and all the members of House and Congress there. And it so happened I was watching that. And then all of a sudden, breaking news, they were talking about fires happening in California. I was like, And it's not that I cut it off because I didn't care. I cut it off because I just had a bad feeling in my stomach. I just had like a sick feeling in my stomach. I was like, oh my God. Okay. Oh Lord, I'm brighting up my screen. I don't need to be brighting up my screen. Okay, so here's some more stuff. Watch this. These are people talking about their fire insurance being canceled.
Living in this house for 75 years, and they've had the same insurance, and these insurance people decided to cancel their fire. And we're going through this, and it just happened, and they have no fire insurance. Living in this house for 75 years, and they've had the same insurance, and these insurance people decided to cancel their fire. And
isn't this ironic? Because then we have a situation where somebody took the life from a CEO of a health insurance company, and they said the health insurance company was canceling certain type of insurances. Well, this was one of them. Like they were putting limit. I need to find it. I don't know if I still have it, but they're saying that allegedly these health insurance are canceling people. Like they're telling them like, okay, we can't pay for the rest of your chemotherapy. I'm like, what the hell? Chemotherapy lasts until you get rid of all of the cancer. Okay. Here's some more videos on what the fuck California about, because this right here is so eerie looking. Okay. So it says update
is a new
another fire erupts against Runyon Canyon.
Fire. This is the Hollywood Hills. This is the location that we were given, 2350 North Solar Drive. That's between Nichols Canyon and Runyon Canyon in the Hollywood Hills. There are a number of homes surrounding that. Chris Christie, are you available to give us some information about this?
Mark, very concerning sight here in the Hollywood Hills. We're just west of Nichols Canyon. just north of Hollywood Boulevard, where a major fire has just sparked in the last 5 minutes. We were over the Pacific Palisades. We saw the glow coming from over the hill, and just in the last couple of minutes that it took us to get over here to Hollywood, this thing has exploded in size. You can see northerly winds coming through the canyon here, just west of Nichols, just east of Runyon Canyon, and you can see this is all very thick fuel that is fueling this brush fire. LA City Fire is aware of this fire. They have immediately called for the 20 closest trucks.
Also, another thing I want to add about the air quality is the air quality in California is shitty. It's awful. The only time it was clear when we were all on lockdown in 2020. The air quality in California is bullshit.
Is a new fire. This is
Spawned out here. However, accessing this fire is going to require more of the trucks. They're going to have to get a quick reaction force over here as soon as possible, or more likely, LA City.
Now this right here looks like the scene. You remember when they flew over Hawaii in 2012? That's what this looks like. This looks like the scene from 2012, where they flying over Hawaii and they're like, "Oh my God, what is that?" And they're like, "This is the former state of Hawaii." This is Palisade, and then it spread the same day, because it'll say 4 days later, where it spread to the Hollywood Hills near Runyon Canyons. All right. This is the before and after picture of what happened. This is why I say, like, not all the houses that are affected are rich people houses. They're actually people who are normal everyday people with normal everyday jobs who work their asses off to get that. This is a whole neighborhood, and this is the whole neighborhood being destroyed. This is the Palisade neighborhood being destroyed. Okay. Now, if the fires weren't enough in California, an explosion occurred in Texas, Fort Worth, Texas. There's little fires everywhere. Little fires everywhere. It's crazy. I follow someone on Instagram. Her name is King Ashley and she's a businesswoman. She's saying, y'all don't think that we should be fasting and praying. And I keep getting the energy that when Lent start to just fast. That's just the energy I keep getting. I have fast for Lent before. I used to do it in high school. And I keep every year it's not that I forget, it's just I don't think about it. But we definitely need to fast and pray. We definitely need to fast and pray. It's too many fires everywhere. It's somebody, I think it's the same lady. Yeah. It's the same lady.
You decided not to leave.
I know I'm not supposed to be here, but this is my parents' home.
I know the feeling.
And they just they got canceled from their fire insurance. So they're dealing with this. They're 90 years old. And through the state of California, because of this, they're 90 years old. That they've had.
Okay, just give more context of it. So her parents are 90 years old. They lived in the house for 75 years and they canceled fire insurance on them. Why would you do that?
They've lived in this house for.
If somebody has a house for 75 years, if somebody has a house for 75 years, they're proving that they have paid their taxes, they paid their mortgage off, or they paid the house in full. They paid their dues. So why would you do that? Why would you not cover them?
75 years, and they've had the same insurance. And these insurance people decided to cancel their fire. And we're going through this, and it just happened, and they have no fire insurance. So thank you, California insurance companies, supporting residents who pay taxes and love California. And they wonder why people leave California.
First and foremost, you did get your parents out safely.
I live in Sierra Madre. My parents are in Sierra Madre, but...
And now you know that it is under evacuation as well, north of Sierra Madre Boulevard.
Yeah, I snuck here. You know, there's a will, there's a way. Probably shouldn't do it, but you know what? Under the circumstances, send me to jail. That's fine.
It is unbelievable what's happening here to the neighbors. Your parents' house is still standing. You had a hose. You're doing what you can.
I mean, I have a hose. It doesn't compare to these beloved neighbors that I've known. I was born and raised in this house, and I live in Sierra Madre, and I'm now 62 years old. And this is the house I was born and raised in, and I've never moved out of Pasadena, Sierra Madre, Hastings Ranch.
I know people are dipping in and out of our coverage. As we speak to you, let's have my photographer Romeo pan right over there to where we were and what's happening across the street. When you see that of your neighbors' houses, what are you thinking?
There's no words to even describe how heartbreaking. That's a life. That's your entire life. You don't get that back. The memories.
That's why I say, like, I say this all the time. I've been saying this. I said this, like, y'all think people who are homeless, or y'all like using a politically correct term, unhoused, y'all think they are homeless because they don't have money or they're alcoholics. That's not always the case. Sometimes the case is they go batshit crazy trying to keep the bullshit that is considered to be the American dream. And they say fuck it and just decide to buy a tent and live under a bridge. I'll never forget one time I was at a Walgreens, and this man was talking to me. He said, "Do you have a tent?" I said, "No." He said, "Well, I'm homeless. I just need a tent. I just need somewhere to stay." Your parents work 30 plus years to keep what they get. They've had insurance for where they stayed at for the past 75 years. Then they take the insurance away and they cannot get any of those things back. This is what they say is the reason behind it. A spark. So I'm going to read this article from the Neighborhood Talk. I think some of this is CGI. It says, a small spark in a backyard on the edge of Los Angeles has grown into one of the most destructive wildfires in the city has ever seen. This first began on last Tuesday morning, when a thin plume of smoke was spotted rising from someone's garden at first. It seemed harmless, but within minutes, the smoke turned into thick clouds as flame raced through the dry grass and plants. In less than 48 hours, the wildfire has burned over 20 square miles, destroying homes, including some belonging to celebrities, and causing billions of dollars in damages. Firefighters are calling this a blaze unprecedented as it spread faster than any fire in recent memory. LA Fire Chief Christian Crowley confirmed that the fire likely started by accident, but the conditions in the area were perfect for disasters. Expert explained that the fire was fueled by a dangerous mix of environmental factors. Last year, heavy rain from El Nino helped plants grow in abundance. However, when the weather turned hot and dry this year, that's La Nina, those plants became highly flammable, adding to the problem. Strong Santa Ana winds, hot, dry gusts that blown toward the coast, fanned in flames, pushing them quickly through the dry vegetation. The scientists at UCLA believe this pattern is part of what they call hydroclimate whiplash. where the weather swings between very wet and very dry conditions. These shifts have created landscapes that are both overgrown and dangerously dry, making wildfires like this one more likely to happen. As the fire continued to burn, entire neighborhoods from Malibu to Santa Monica are in danger. Thousands of residents have been forced to evacuate, and firefighting crew are working tirelessly to bring the blaze under control. But with no rain in sight and winds continuing to spread the flame, the situation remains dire. So that's what they're saying. It happened. It definitely was man-made. I don't believe that this is climate change at all. I just don't. Okay. So here's more footage of people's homes. So this is right here. It says a 4-story home collapsed as new fires break out in Studio City, following at least 6 other fires in Los Angeles, which have resulted in at least 5 deaths. So this was 3 days ago. It was only 5 deaths. It said current wildfire in Los Angeles County, Sunset Fire burning near Runyon Canyon in Hollywood Hills, Palisade Fire burning in Pacific Palisade in Malibu, Eaton Fire burning in Altadena, that's where that lady was from, and Pasadena, and Hearst Fire burning in the Silmar and Santa Clarita areas. Other small fires reported: Lydia Fire burning in Action and Soledad Canyon area, Woolley Fires burning near Woolley and Sepulveda Basin. So this was the second day, and it spread to Studio City. That's a lot of money, man, and damage. This is another footage. So let's get into conspiracy. We're gonna go back and forth with conspiracy and reality. So they're asking, what is that flying in the air? Do y'all see that? The little dots in the smoke. What is that? Are those drones? It could be drones. I'm just going to say this. It could be drones, but I don't know. Strange. Okay. I already kind of told you guys about the 4th worst fire. So yeah, this is girl. So before the California fires happened, this is a video I found, and it came from December 13th, 2024. That sounded like my belly was talking. That's so weird. Anyway. Before the fire started, this is something that happened in South Central LA.
What the fuck?
Keep in mind, this is December 13th, so it's not New Year's Eve. This was happening in the air in South Central LA, and it so happened to look like after that, the fire part dissipated, that it looked like the little dots and the flames. Didn't it look like that? Look at it again. It went like after the fire in that dissipated. Use this young man's language. Look at it. After this, don't that look a little bit like those dots that I just showed you that's around the fires in the different area? That's crazy. This was December, okay?
must be something in the fire.
They're showing this. See those little dots? You see the fire and then you see little dots in the air. Now, there's no water coming from the fire hydrants. Look at this. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, so don't quote me on this, but they're allegedly saying there's no water coming from the hydrants.
This is another Maui. There's no water in the hydrants.
But what is most concerning to me is our first responders and our firefighters who are trying to battle this. There's no water in the Palisades. There's no water coming out of the fire hydrants. This is an absolute mismanagement by the city. It's not the firefighters' fault, but it's by the city. And I'm going to be very honest. We've got a mayor that's out of the country, and we've got a city that's burning, and there's no resources to put out fires. So if you look at your pictures, you don't see the firefighters there because there's nothing they can do. And it looks like we're in a third world country here. Mm-hmm. And we've got a lot of tough questions that we need to ask the mayor and the city council and our representatives and the county representatives. Why didn't you work to mitigate this? What was your brush mitigation program? I heard you earlier talking about it's been dry because there hasn't been rain. That's not the biggest problem here. The brush up in these hills that are controlled by the city and the county, I would bet you that if they haven't been handled, mitigated, pruned, removed for probably 30 or 40 years.
Yep, I'm starting to think this is another Maui. There's no water in the hydrants.
But what is...
I'm going to go back to Maui because I want to talk about also how some people said they were severely disturbed by the movie Moana. And just in case you guys don't know, have you seen the first Moana? There's a second one came out. And long story short, people are saying the second one is highly disturbing. I will get to that later, but let's continue to look at what's going on. So, they caught a video of police, a massive police presence, but it was escorting something away from the fire. Look at this. Wonder what's that for? Oh, and if we're not okay with just fire happening in California, fires just coming, bursting everywhere, and a fire in Fort Worth, there was a massive fire alarm fire in the Bronx, New York. Look at that. It's the ignorant comments in the comment section for me. It's like, shut the fuck up. Like, shut up. You sound stupid. Educate yourself. And I'm gonna say this. There's a reason why this is happening. And Trump should take it as an omen to really take his ass out the White House. I'm just saying this. Do you really want to inherit a country with all this shit happening? Because California is not just Governor Newsom problem. It's an American problem. It's gotten to the point to where they have to fly in firefighters from other countries. They got prisoners out there fighting those fires. That's how bad that fire is. So it's not just a California issue. It's an American issue. So in this fire right here, this happened early Friday morning. That was 2 days ago. And it's a massive fire alarm. Fire tore through a 6-story apartment building in the Bronx, leaving us at least 7 people injured and dozens displaced. Over 250 firefighters and emergency responders worked tirelessly to contain the blaze that erupted on Wallace Avenue. Now let's go back to the strange things happening in the sky. This is Vegas. Vegas is another area that has dry ass air. It's a desert, basically. You go outside the Vegas Strip, it's a desert. What the hell is going on in the sky?
Are they fighting?
You see the same little dots? Could be traffic reflecting off his window. Let's be straight up on this. That could be that too. But this are the same little dots.
It's a freaking battle. Whoa. What's going on? Are they fighting?
Same dots in the sky. Okay. Now let's go back to, these are South African firefighters in Canada. Right here. So just to give you context, yeah. It's no blaming. I know y'all blaming the governor, y'all blaming the mayor, they blame the female firefighters. They have nothing to do why this happened. Granted, I have my theories, but they have nothing to do with why this happened. The fact that they have to call, this fire is so bad. You have to call people from out the country to help you. These are South Africans. That's bananas. So the recently update on what's going on with the fire, which by the way, also there was a fire in Ghana at one of its largest markets. That happened before Cali. Now there is a fire tornado. That was announced 21 hours ago. Now, we're going to get deep into conspiracy, but this is Monique Slaughter. You don't know her from, y'all know her from Love and Hip Hop. So this is what she had to say about the fire.
Earthquake and fire had been canceled 3 months ago, and they didn't say a word. So I called my accountant and I was like, bro, like, what the why wouldn't you tell me? Because like, you paid the bills. And then he's like, I didn't tell you because no one said anything to me about it, so I didn't know. So I'm like, oh my God. At that point, I just came back to the hotel and crumbled because I was like, my life savings is in that house. I don't don't even have equity yet. Like, not even moved in fully. Like, if it burns down, I'm completely screwed and I will have nothing. I know that my earthquake ended. So it was very stressful. So after he sent me that photo, I extended my room and they were trying not to extend it. And I was like, no, I need an extension. So then when I was trying, this was my second attempt to go back home. I couldn't go back up the hill. I cried myself to sleep. It said that our evacuation, what did it say? Evacuation order downgraded. So it's not mandatory, but it's like earlier it was mandatory and now they've downgraded it to voluntary. It's already hard enough being Black. Then a Black woman. A Black couple. A Black family with kids in my neighborhood trying, you know what kind of hoops and rings of fire, no pun intended, they sent me through for a home loan? I had to do so much.
Let me talk about real quick, because y'all, a lot of y'all, let's talk about the famous. Y'all put the rich and the famous, y'all assume the famous have money. Let's talk real quick about how, I'm going to tell you this. I found out the hard way that a lot of people that you know and you love are broke as hell. Like, you better off literally digging a ditch and washing cars. Okay? Because at least you know you're going to get a check on the regular digging a ditch and washing cars. What she just told you, what she exposed is that y'all know her for being on TV, but she took out a loan on a house. She got a loan on a house, bought the house, got insurance, and then they canceled the insurance on the house. She basically said all her money was sunk into this house, and now she has nothing. So before you get into this whole holier than thou BS and say something to the effect of, well, they're rich and famous, they can have money. No. Because you're famous don't mean you have money. Y'all should have found that shit out when pandemic happened. And your faves were all sitting up there on Bigo. Don't act like I don't know. Y'all all sitting up there on Bigo begging for Kerns. So don't assume because they play rich on TV don't mean they are.
Stuff that I had never known I was going to need to do. And they didn't want 1 year my tax returns. They wanted 3. I don't know where those are. I don't even know if I filed. What the F? So then you gotta get that together. But why do I have to give you 3 years? Why do you want, like, it just became so, to go through that and to put everything you own into that and for it to be gone. A Black couple, a Black family with kids in my neighborhood trying, you know what kind of hoops and rings in a blink of an eye. And I've been seeing people say it. They said it about Paris Hilton and Janae, and like, oh, they have bread, they'll be fine. It doesn't matter, bread or no bread. Like, that don't matter. That's a home, right? And so then
the crazy part is that Janae got off a tour last year, and I don't know her personal information. Is none of my business. I'm a Danae fan, so I just don't know her personal information or her business financially. I just know it has taken her 20 years to get to the point to where she can do a tour, arena tour. That's what I know. She just worked her ass off to get to where she is. And I feel like, it's crazy to work your ass off to get to where you are. And then people in the comment section tell you straight the hell up. Basically, you're whiny over spilled milk. No, a fire to the house is not spilled milk. I don't care what it is. Granted, we know Paris got another house somewhere else, but still, that's a lot of money. You gotta understand, Paris is in a multi-million-dollar house. Because she has money doesn't mean that she don't have pictures of her children in the house. That don't mean she don't have wedding pictures with her and her husband, pictures of her family, pictures of her brothers, her sister, her mom, her dad. It doesn't mean anything like that. That's a lot of damage that just happened. I mean, that's billions of dollars of damage.
You don't have insurance to cover it. People can't, including myself, cannot afford to lose a whole house and everything in it and then have no fire coverage. And then what? Not only that, I'm still stuck with a mortgage on a home that I can't even rebuild because I didn't own it long enough to grow equity in it. In a blink of an eye.
That's home ownership in a nutshell. Okay? Like, this fire is not only exposing this with the insurance, it also exposed, like, if you got a mortgage on a house and your house catches on fire and you have not had that house long enough to have equity on it, you're in some shit. You're not going to get anything on that. That's crazy. So, I want to show this. I want y'all to look at this. I thought this was strange. I'm going to cover the music or whatever. It hasn't been acting up. I will say the cold that we're getting. The ice is melting, so more people are going out now. I finally got my package, but the ice has been affecting like the Wi-Fi and the power line. So I did a live, and it abruptly ended because the ice was freezing on the power line, and it was kind of messing something up. But I want y'all to look at this. This camera's pointed at the palisade before the fire appeared to have captured a man starting it. Watch this. You can barely see it. I can barely see it. All I see is smoke. They said it started off something small and it ended up something big. Y'all need to understand, y'all see something that's small, but it ended up becoming a huge problem because y'all ignored in the beginning. This is not just a physical thing. This is a spiritual thing. Trump, you got a lot of bad omens your way. You inherited shit, bro. This is what you inherited. Dismiss. I think I have another picture. I'm going to talk about Twitch's wife later, honey. Girl, I'm going to talk about Twitch, and I'm going to talk about Ghana as well on another day. I'm going to talk about Twitch's wife as well. Girl, honey, let me tell y'all something. I'm going to give my opinion. Some things are better left said. Left not said, I mean. A lot of people love Twitch. and Twitch is not here to defend himself. So therefore, anything that he can't defend himself for should not be exposed. You know, let that man rest in peace. You know, but I'm gonna talk about that. Okay. Let's talk about other weird things that's happened. Okay. So China farmlands are next to military bases in Georgia. Not Georgia, in America. Look at this.
China, at least 17 U.S. military bases near Chinese-owned farmland, reportedly seeing a surge in drone activity and sightings in recent weeks. The sightings happening near bases.
Y'all remember people were saying that they saw drones in the sky?
In Hawaii and installations in Utah, California, Maine, and Florida. House Foreign Affairs Committee Chairman Michael McCain. Back now to China, at least 17 U.S.
Y'all know this China-owned land, so we can't say nothing to China because China owns us. China owns us. This is their land. They can do whatever. Yeah. Let me find something else.
We know right now is that
There's another one. What is it? Somebody else started a fire in Calabasas, if I'm not mistaken. So there was another fire that was ignited 2 days ago called the Kenneth Fire in the West San Fernando Valley, where the fire ignited. It was reported that another fire ignited in West Hills, resulting in the mass evacuation in Calabasas.
the incident occurred, started here, and about 30 minutes later, a suspect was detained over in Woodland Hills area by citizens.
So someone purposely set the Kenneth fire?
At this time, that's what we believe, yes.
Do you know how or why they did that?
That I don't know.
Is this a crime scene right now?
Yes.
So everything's closed off?
It's being investigated as a crime. We know right now is that the incident occurred, started here.
Is a new fire. This is the Hollywood Hills. This is the location that we were given
here, and about
they arrested the suspect before he could. They got the suspect in that situation. That's so weird. Let's see. I will come back on here and talk about conspiracies. I'm not gonna really bash State Farm right now. I ain't trying to be funny or nothing. But yeah. Let me see. Don't want to talk about this.
Okay, I guess let's park along this street, yeah? And then, Dave, if you can, just go ahead of us and try to set up a signal.
Right here. This is where it's got to be. This is, oh my God. What? I've never.
So, but this is not a conspiracy. He was talking about a Native American proverb saying that when the last tree has been cut down, the last fish caught, and the last stream poisoned, we will realize we cannot eat money. I think I have another one. I'm not quite sure. Oh yeah, I'm gonna talk about the lady breaking the baby's bones too. I'll be talking about her. Look at people talking about this is happening before your little friend get in office, honey. Keep in mind, nothing like this. I mean, granted, I don't know. It could be the end of days. I'm not quite sure. But I will come back on here when I have time because I gotta sit up here and do e-classes, and I gotta do my first week of class. I got classes. Most of my classes on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and then I got Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I got one class on Wednesday. One is in person. I gotta find a way to get out of it, so I gotta talk to financial aid tomorrow. I gotta talk to my registrar because I'm not gonna be able to go. I can't spend my money going up there. I cannot spend my money going to class like that. It's ridiculous. And plus it's like it's not easy to the job I have is like an every now and then job. So I have not started my full-time hustle yet, which is not really a hustle because legally I am certified to do it. But they had talking about something. You got one class in person. So at first I thought I had it set, and I was like, okay. This lady said she was selling some houses. She had gotten some the students that go to college we go to, and she had some houses she went to. I think she went to rent out, and she kind of came to me in a curt type of way. I was like, wait a minute, man, you ain't talking to one of them 20-year-olds, and even if I was 20, who the hell are you talking to? Watch your tone, man. The world catching on fire. Don't piss me off and make me throw some. Like, calm down. But okay, the point I was trying to make, I don't think I found the article I wanted to find. I had saved so much dealing with the fire. But I want to talk about let me talk about it. Y'all think that to you MAGA voters, y'all think that dang, I forgot the word. Brother. Y'all think that what's the word I'm looking for? Tariffs. Y'all thought the tariffs were for other countries when the tariffs were for you. Okay? Y'all assuming the tariffs was for the other countries, but it's really for you. He sit up there and told you that the tariffs were for other countries. Okay? I'm going to tell you a little something. And I really think with the tariffs, them charging us with tariffs, and I think this all is related. All of it's related. I'm sleepy, so I can't tell you how, but all of this is related, okay, to the tariffs, okay? Because she said 3 months ago that her fire and earthquake insurance was canceled. She said that. My question is this. If this was not something that was planned, why did they cancel the insurance 3 months ago? Did I say 5 months ago? I meant 3. Why would you cancel something? Especially in California, especially we know California needs earthquake insurance. Those are the main insurance you need to be able to stay in California. Why would they cancel those insurance 3 months ago? One, and within that 3 months, a young man by the name of Luigi, I'll take it back. He a bitch ass, and I'm not on nobody's side, but it's not right to kill someone. Okay. Why? And we're talking about like homeowner insurance. So they cancel homeowner insurance dealing with two things California happened the most with, okay? That's fires and earthquakes. While you cancel that insurance, then on top of that, you heard about what happened with the healthcare and with Luigi Maggioni and what he did to the CEO of a healthcare company. Then all of a sudden, you're hearing stories about people saying that they're canceling people's health insurance after a certain number of rounds of chemotherapy. Why do this now? Is it because the insurance company do not have the money anymore, or the insurance company is saving up to pay out for something bigger to happen? With that being said, I hope you guys have a blessed day. I hope you guys pray. Hope you guys fast. It's looking like we're in for a roller coaster for 2025. Shit is getting real. It's giving Book of Revelations. And I need y'all to stay prayed up. I need y'all to stay safe. Y'all stay protected. Get your anointed oil out, honey. The prayer cloths out, your anointed oil. To me, it feels like they're saving up for something bigger to happen. That's all I'm saying. It's like, okay, we can't spend our money on taking care of Los Angeles, even though it's billions of dollars in damage. We can't spend our money on earthquakes, because there were earthquakes that was happening at the end of 2024 in Los Angeles. We can't spend our money on that. We can't spend money on people getting chemotherapy anymore. So what's the reasoning behind this? Until then, I will pop back in probably on Friday. Girl. I'll pop back in on Friday and talk about more stuff. I'm doing my podcast tomorrow. The only free days I have are Friday and Monday this week. I gotta play everything by ear, honey. So y'all stay safe. Y'all be careful. And prayers out to everybody in LA. With that being said, I am so